We are living in extraordinary times. It's these times where actually miracles can unfold. It's these times where one small action can lead us into a different future, into a different potential. And it's also a time where men are called to be in brotherhood. And it's in this brotherhood and in this reflection that men are given the opportunity to start to see the gap. The gap between who they think they are and who they actually are on the inside. I call this gap drift. And these drift has signs. The drift is a state. It becomes very clear. It becomes very clear in the body if you've done the inner work. But if you haven't, these are some of the signs which could lead you to the conclusion that you are drifting. So, before we start, drift is not a breakdown, although it might lead to one. You could be having a good job, you could be working in a good company, you could be having a very fine relationship. You could be showing up, you could be doing actions, you could be the reliable person, you could be the person who is actually saving other people. So it's not related to your function, it's not related to your productivity, but it's actually related to some internal signs that something is missing, that something is not adding up. And this is why sometimes men don't catch it. They might be doing everything right by every external measure. They might be receiving praise from the manager. They might be the provider, they might be the reliable person, they might be very low maintenance. And because they are in that state, they keep on getting rewarded for being so reliable. Because nobody can pull them on the side and tell them, like, brother, are you really here? It looks like you're disappearing. And also you don't say it to yourself, because we were never taught to listen to our bodies. So here are the signs. What drift actually is. So the mental mind can start to grasp it. First off, you stop doing things that used to bring you joy. The conversation starts to get more shallower. Hi, how are you? Fine. And that's it. No conversations goes with the depth. You don't have even people that you can actually rely on to go into that depth and start sharing whatever is going on in the internal world. Even with the people you love. You could be very present in the room, you could be very reliable, you scan for everything that needs to be, fixed, handled. Yet something inside of you is absent, something inside of you is not here in this present moment. It's not reacting, it's not responding with whatever is happening. It's almost feeling as if you have a window that is not clean between you and your reflection, which is the outside world. There's sometimes a window, it could be even a fucking wall, and it's usually a sign of a closed heart. Your sleep is not rest, your sleep is mandatory, and when you wake up you don't feel actually rested. You just feel that it's time to repeat whatever you were repeating. And one of the most important signs, something inside of you is longing for something. Somewhere very deep in your heart is looking, waiting for something genuine to happen. And it's not happening on the outside because the change has to come from within. And this is why I designed the Drift Audit. It's absolutely free, and it's a 3-day protocol that actually centers around 3 very important aspects that we as men don't do. Truth here is not from culture, it's not from the opinions of our loved ones, it's not from beliefs, it's our own internal truth based on our center, our foundations, and our values. And first off, to reach that truth, to reach that intuition that whispers, you have to arrive. You have to arrive, brother, in this present moment, now. Feeling without subjectifying how the body feels. What are you feeling? And what are you thinking about? And actually allowing yourself to arrive in this room and take whatever is arising in. And the second is regulation. Regulating whatever needs to move, whatever is stuck. And lastly, taking one truthful action. Seeing what's and staying present with a truth that is within you. And that truth could be a boundary, that truth could be an action, that truth could be a call that has to be made. All of this is within the Drift audit. It's completely free and it would be in the link in the description. Which brings me to the other important topic. The reason why men would choose Drift over taking action. Drift is actually comfortable. It's a familiar hell. And actually to feel numb is easier than feeling the full weight of who you are. So this work comes with a bit of pain. And this is why you would find men regularly on the phone. You would find men regularly scrolling, moving from one project to the next, and goal-oriented. You would also find men always in motion, always achieving. They don't sit. And once they start to sit, they feel what's happening underneath, and they start to run. They're always in motion. Life feels like a constant struggle and a constant running. Staying still is not in the dictionary. Which brings me to the cost. The cost of staying numb, the cost of choosing the drift. Because some people are very intelligent, some people they know they are drifting. And these words now resonates with them. And they will continue to not take the action that is necessary to change their lives and bring them closer into alignment and truth. Alright, and here is what drift costs that you don't see until later. Costs you your presence, costs you your open heart, and costs you your joy. It also costs you your aliveness. That aliveness, that spark that your soul needs and your loved one needs, that's the cost. And it also costs you your direction. You will choose what you believe is important, and you will always not choose what is important for you, which is your direction, which is your passion, which is your calling here on earth. And the most painful of the costs, it costs you time, it costs you years, it costs you special moments, it costs you opportunities. Most men I work with, they know they are drifting. Once they start to name where they are drifting, the one thing that comes up is grief. Sometimes regret. The men that are willing to look, they would feel the grief of lost time. They would feel the grief of decisions that they took against their nature. And this is part of the return. Drift at the end is a distance, and that distance can be covered with slow, step by step, micro shift at a time, taking action. And this is how we close the gap. The fact that you clicked on this video is that little nudge within you telling you that you need to come back, you need to return. That is the beginning of the return. Something also which I tell my clients, that drift doesn't have to be a dramatic overturn. Although sometimes it will require so if you have drifted for decades. And it starts with some honest questions. Where am I drifting? Where did I go? What am I sacrificing in order to be loved? What am I doing to be validated? These are some of the questions that we use to become honest with ourselves, inviting in a radical honesty. And that's the beginning of the work. And return here doesn't start with the mind. It starts in the body. It starts with what you're feeling right now, in this present moment. It starts with you sensing the ground beneath you, feeling the full weight of your body on that chair. This is the return. You're slowly deepening and descending from the mind, from the thinking mind, from that noise that keeps pulling you into taking more action and avoiding stillness, and into feeling that nudge that is poking at your soul, waiting to be heard and seen and felt. Return doesn't require a whole system, doesn't require more discipline. It just requires you to choose yourself. And lastly, return requires intimacy, not with something that is outside of you, but to recall that intimacy within, with your own soul, with your own body, with your own heart. And if you made it till the end of this video, well, first off, I want to acknowledge you. Second, I want to call you into action. I have been through this work, and some of us men have drifted because we don't have a mirror. We don't have someone to call us out. We don't have stages in our day. And this is why I have built the 30-day reconnection and grounding container. And it's something of an innovative program because each man is different. Each man is walking a different path. So each man needs a different system. But it all comes to the point where how do we approach our day? And we go over this in the container, where we also go through what are foundations, what are values, what are the techniques that we need, and what are the healing modalities, and what are the regulative modalities, and how can I approach work in a sacred manner? How can I approach food with respect? And how can I show up for my loved ones in a way that is true within me? If you're feeling a call, brother, click the link in the description and let's have a discovery call. Stay open, stay rooted, and I'll see you on the next video.